Unbelievable. This is a 1970s Hahn Eclipse tiller, and a lot of people haven't heard of this brand before. This thing has been completely neglected, left outside, and it hasn't been ran in years. So today we're going to dig into it and find out what's going on with it. Got a 3.5 horsepower flathead Briggs & Stratton engine. Let's check the oil here. Got oil. Looks a little milky, which means there's probably some water in there, but it's enough to start it on. This is an old school carburetor. This is where you put the gas in, and it also acts as a float bowl. So you definitely know it's old because of that. Let's check out this air cleaner. Come on. There we go. Doesn't crumble when you touch it. It should be all right to run for now. Shut that down. We'll probably need to dig into this carburetor, but first I want to check for spark and compression. This throttle cable's a little botched. This has a Champion CJ8 plug. It's got a little bit of carbon on it, but it's not too bad. Let's pop that in there. Oh, we got plenty of spark. Time to test compression. Now in these old flat top Briggs engines, you're probably only going to get like 80 to 90 PSI on them. And they'll run just like that. All right, let's see. Oh, zeroed out. $60 would be perfect with decompression. We're going to see if it runs anyways. Give it a little hot sauce. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Might have bigger issues than just the carburetor. Well, let's get this carburetor off and see what we're working with in here. Bolt in a spacer back here. Looks like we just need to get this bolt off here and we should be in. There we go. There's the spacer. Let's get our throttle linkage off. There we go. And now we bring this over the bench and pull this carburetor out. Actually, we should check in the tank. In the tank here. It actually looks pretty good. Probably stabilized fuel. There's actually no rust in that tank. Look how clean that is. It's amazing. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to take this out. There should be a tube that leads all the way down into the gas tank. There we are. There's our choke. Yep, it's a vacuum actuated choke. This diaphragm actually feels pretty good. A few springs in here. See in there, that's kind of where the fuel gets drawn up through here, through this fuel screen. And we got our other one over here. Maybe let's take this off. See if we can drop this whole diaphragm. Oh, there we go. There is the vacuum actuated choke. Get rid of that. Get rid of this gasket here. This rubber tube. And that should be all of the rubber bits, and we can drop this into the ultrasonic. Give it a good clean. I'm actually going to get this off as well. This is the air screw adjustment. Oh, did I just bump you? Yeah. Let's pop that open. Oh, there's a little needle on the end there. Oh, we got a jet in here as well. Let's take that guy out. See straight through it, so that's probably not an issue. Carburetor's done cooking. Cleaned up really good. It did take some of the paint off. We're going to put our choke or our air fuel mixture back in. We'll put our main jet in. What I am assuming is the main jet. And our mix screw. Hook this back up. This one around the top, don't need to worry about that. All right, let's see if we can set this in. Oh no. I made a mistake. I forgot to put that back around there. All right, let's see if we can set this back down on here. Hopefully our gasket landed correctly. This little elbow, slide that on. And our little gasket here. All right, we're ready to go back on the machine. We're far enough back together to see if this thing will pull over. Oh, and I did check the specs on this, and it seems like this does have a decompression, and 60 PSI is actually pretty decent. All right, let's see if this thing will start now. Oh, did you hear that? Come on. Oh, we got it. Now, how do I keep it running? Oh, it just quit on me. I was adjusting the air-fuel mixture screw, and it seemed like it was doing a little bit of something. Let's try that again. Huh. Unbelievable. Well, gotta repair that. Looks like we got some tabs that we probably just need to bend up. Get you in here. There's these tabs on the side. There's not really any way to get this recoil out without having to bend these up. Don't really want to take the spring out. There we go. Looks like it was been a little grimy. Just hit this with the torch and it's already fraying. There's a little slot that you have to drive this into. There we go. Tie a little knot. Messed that up. I should have went through the case and then did this. Now I'm undoing the other end so I can feed it through the case. Not a big deal, but just a little bit of a waste of time. Looks like this just got tied around a rod. I'm gonna get this back on and then we're gonna try this again. Put in a little bit of fresh gas. The freshest gas that I got. See what happens. We're getting close. Just got to dial this in a little bit more. Nice. All right, so it just seemed like we needed the absolute perfect air-fuel mixture, which is going to be weird because as the temperature fluctuates, that's also going to need to be adjusted. Either way, we got it running, so that's awesome. I'm very happy about that. Looks like we just needed to dial that carburetor in. I think this was just a mixture of bad fuel and the carb adjust air-fuel screw kind of messed up. One thing I want to check before we get into the dirt is I want to check this gear fluid out. Make sure we don't burn this up. Oh, yeah, we're full right up to the top. Perfect. So let's put that back in. See if we can go move some dirt around. Let's see how this goes. It's been raining for days. Thing's a workhorse. Works great. Hope you enjoyed this episode of EngineCraft Garage. I had a lot of fun getting this thing running again. I hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you like this kind of content, I got more right here, and I come out with new content every week. So don't forget to subscribe if you're into this kind of content, and I'll see you next time.